Hi, I'm Debi Peverill from Painless Financial Training Group, and what we're talking about today is our annual video on how to fill in your TD1 form. So this is the 2021 version of the form that is called Personal Tax Credits Return. We refer to it as the TD1, and that's where you would find it if you search for it. So the purpose of this form is to let employers know what your personal situation is so that your employer can take the proper amount of tax deductions for you from your pay. It doesn't change how your income tax return will be prepared. It only has an impact on what deductions are taken from your pay. So if you give your employer the wrong information, it's entirely possible they will take the wrong amount of tax off, and you either will get a refund or you're going to owe money at the end of the year. So this form is given to the employer in January of each year. The first page of it starts off with very simple information such as your name, your address, your social insurance number, and your birthday. These things are important. The birthday is important because you only start paying CPP when you're 18 and you can stop paying it once you're over 70. So the birthday is important. The numbers then are called boxes. So the first box is the basic personal amount, and in the federal return that is not the same amount for everybody. It used to be pre-printed at the top of the form. That doesn't happen any longer. If your annual income is predicted to be less than $151,978, then your personal exemption amount is $13,808, and that's the number you write in box 1. If your income is going to be more than $216,511, then the number you write in box 1 is $12,421. In between those two numbers, there's a proration, which we will talk about, and there's a worksheet, which will show you how to calculate that. The box 2 is the Canada Caregiver amount for infirm children who are less than 18 years old. If you have a child who is infirm who's less than 18, the amount you put for each child in that box is $2,295. Box 3 is the age amount. If you are not over age 65, you do not need to fill this in. If you are over age 65, then you have a couple of choices here. If you're going to earn $38,893 or less in the year, then the amount you're going to claim is $7,713. If you're going to earn more than that number, the $38,893, there's a proration. But by the time you get to an income of $90,313, there is no claim for your age amount. Box 4 is pension income. If you are earning pension income that is other than the Canada Pension Plan, the Old Age Security Plan, or the Guaranteed Income Supplement, then you are going to claim an amount of $2,000 in this box, or less if your pension income is less. If your pension income is less than $2,000, you can only claim the amount that your pension income actually is. Box 5 is the tuition, and I have more questions about this every year than all the other boxes put together. The tuition is the amount that you are paying in 2021. So, and it would also include the tuition for the part of the year that's in 2021. So if you paid all of your tuition in September for the academic year, the only part that qualifies for 2021 will be the tuition from January until April. And this is the amount that is paid whether your parents paid it or whether you paid it from your student loans. The tuition amount is the amount that you're going to put in box 5 for any tuition greater than $100 in the year. Box 6 only applies if you are eligible for the disability tax credit, and if you are, you have a letter from CRA that says so, and the amount you will claim is $8,662 in that box. Box 7 is for your spouse or your common law partner. If you support a spouse whose income is less than $12,421, then you will claim in this box the difference between their income and that number, the $12,421. So if your spouse makes $10,000, the amount you claim in this box would be $2,421. Box 8 applies only if you do not have a spouse, but you do have a dependent child. in which case you would enter the difference between their income and $12,421. So if you have a child who has no income, the deduction there is $12,421. Box 9 is the Canada caregiver amount, and that is for dependents who are aged 18 or over, and there's a worksheet for that as well. And it depends, again, same income, depending on how much income they earn, you can claim a deduction based on their income less the deduction amount. Box 11 is the amount that is transferred from your spouse. So that amount is based on only the amount of deductions that your spouse is not going to use. So if they have the age amount, your spouse is over age 65, they have pension, that's the $2,000, they have tuition or a disability amount and they don't need it, then you can make that claim for their amounts that they're not going to use. Okay. Box 12 is transferred from a dependent who is not your spouse. So if you have a child that has a disability credit and they don't have income, then you can transfer that amount to yourself, put that in box 12, and you're going to be able to claim that. So we are now at the point where we can do the page 1. You're going to add up all of the amounts from box 1 to box 12, and you're going to put that total in box 13. Okay. Page 2 has a couple of important things written on it. What if you have more than one employer? If you have more than one employer, you have to fill in more than one TD1 form, but you don't get to claim all these credits twice. You're only allowed to claim the credit once. So for the first employer, you do the TD1, fill in all the numbers, all the credits added up. For the second employer, all you need to do is tick this box at the back and say that you have another employer, so you've already claimed the credits. So your second employer won't take any of these credits into account, okay, when they do your pay. There's also a box here if your total income is going to be less than the claim amount. So if you don't have no income in 2021, all you need to do is put a tick mark in that box and fill in that form. Non-residents should seek competent professional advice because it's complicated what their situation may be. So I'm not going to say too much about that. There's also a provincial form. Depending on what province you live in, you could have to do another form. We have done videos this year for Nova Scotia, which is the province I live in, and we've also done a video for Ontario because we were asked to do so. Another thing on this form is the additional tax to be deducted. What if you want to get a refund at the end of 2021, when you file your 2021 tax return? Then you could ask your employer to take more money from each of your paychecks. Okay, that should mean that you're going to get money back. It may not be the best thing for you to do. You're not going to get paid a lot of interest, but you can certainly do it. And you can also do a reduction in tax if you feel that you don't need to have any tax taken off for other reasons. Maybe you're making massive RSP contributions, but you have to do a form for that, and that would be the form T1213. Okay, a couple of things on the worksheet, which is attached to this form. The first part of that, the basic personal exemption, we had talked about that when I talked about the income. So if your income is over $151,978, then you could use this form to figure out what your claim should be. Same thing for the age amount. Your income, if it's over $38,893, then this worksheet is the form you need to fill in to determine how much you can claim. And the information on the caregivers, which I talked a little bit about already, your box 9 and your box 10. These are for the caregivers amount for people that are under 18 or over 18. And again, that depends on their income. So we start with the $24,604 and we subtract from that the income of the dependent. If the dependent's income is over $24,604, then you're not getting a deduction for that. Okay, so that's it. Those are the forms that you need to fill in and give to your employer so that the right amount of tax can be taken from your paycheck during the year.